Hi everyone, well I'm back here in New Zealand. It's been a fabulous trip. I've been over to the UK, Ireland and Scotland presenting my masterclass on menopause, and it was such a privilege to bring some of the lifestyle science to the women who were attending those sessions. I think that some of the lifestyle solutions are getting forgotten about. There's such an emphasis on only hormonal medications, and whilst these are wonderful, give wonderful relief to women, there's a lot of women who they don't necessarily suit, and certainly there are many who find that they're putting on a lot of weight when they're on hormonal medications, or they're just relying on the hormonal medications, and they're not quite getting all of the symptoms. I heard this a lot, and I certainly have come across many women who are still having joint health problems or gut health problems, or if they're not having joint health and gut health problems, their hot flushes have been under control, but they're still not sleeping well. So I really like the conversations that I was able to have around some of the lifestyle solutions. Now, December is Stress Management Month with MyMT, and I'm having a real focus on that in the newsletter. And the reason for that is we know that it's a busy time of year for so many women. We're still working, we've got kids, finishing up at school, or we've got a lot going on with, the seasonal preparations as well. So I thought I'd have a little bit of a focus on stress and stress management, and certainly I'm having a focus of that in my coaching group. I've got women from all around the world, and it's just wonderful to bring some of the lifestyle science solutions to them. There's one of the things that we have to remember is that when we're feeling stressed and feeling a bit overwhelmed with all that's going on, and we're in either perimenopause, menopause or post-menopause, those three different phases, then what we have to remember is that our stress symptoms, our feelings of overwhelm and stress can, kind of become worse. They can feel as if they're worse than what they typically are. And there's a reason for this, and that is because as estrogen levels decline, then so too our adrenals are aging, and they actually, as you move towards post-menopause, your adrenal glands, which are where your stress hormones are produced, these glands are changing and aging, and they're secreting a little bit more cortisol. You've heard me talk about cortisol before. It's one of our chronic stress hormones. It interferes with our sleep hormone melatonin, and when cortisol levels are high throughout the day and the evening, then one of the things that happens is that it uses up pregnenolone or progesterone in the pathway, in the production pathway. So a lot of the medications that are coming out, and I was at a conference in America and they were talking a lot about medications. A lot of medications that come out also add progesterone to them, or they are progesterone only preparations. So some of you may want to discuss these with your doctor, but I also want you to know that the two highest foods in natural progesterones are, of course, our dairy products. Butter, I've had a look at the foods that are highest in progesterone. There was a fabulous studies that came out of Canada, and butter, this is beautiful New Zealand butter here, and butter is the highest food in progesterone. So 1 or 2 teaspoons a day of butter certainly may help your feelings of stress. And also cheese. I've got some lovely New Zealand cheese here as well. And so cheese and butter are the two foods that are really high in progesterone. But as I said to the ladies on my 12-week coaching programs, what we also need to do is we need to be aware that when we're feeling stressed and there's a lot going on, our muscles, our brain, and our liver are turning over glucose or sugar. So, what we want to do is we want to get rid of the unhealthy sugar, the white processed sugar, and we want to have some fruits. I've got some beautiful blood oranges here that I bought today, and we want to have fruits that are going to give us the glucose and we certainly want to have some apples. We can have, some dried fruit, a little bit of dried fruit as well. If you have them with nuts, then they don't spike your blood sugar levels as much. And the other thing we need to do is we need to have some healthy fats. You've heard me talk about avocados before, so you can add some avocado to your diet if you're feeling particularly stressed. If you are someone who has got a lot going on, then it's really important to really think about why you've got a lot going on, and most importantly, the fact that you do have a lot going on in your life, then it's really important to look after you and look after your nutrition. Make sure that you're not running around looking after everybody else and neglecting yourself, which is what we often do. And just be really aware that menopause is quite a vulnerable time for the feelings of overwhelm and the feelings of stress, and certainly, the fact that our adrenals are getting older, and therefore they're just producing a little bit more cortisol. So that's what we've really got to be aware of. I'm Dr. Wendy Sweet from New Zealand, and my PhD was on women's health and aging. I'm passionate about lifestyle science. You can go on, lots of hormone medications, but what I love is when you're also focused on some of the other things that you should be doing. And that's my focus through the Menopause Transformation group. So thank you for being here as part of the MyMT community. If you're feeling a bit stressed and overwhelmed, get those healthy fats into you, get some beautiful fruits into you, some blood orange, some citrus, and yes, you can also have some cheese, and you can have your food that is highest in natural progesterone, which is butter, and try and get as natural and organic a butter as you can. So just a couple of teaspoons a day, and you don't need it in the baking. You can just, have it on a little bit of rye bread or a little bit of sourdough bread.